Over the last week, we made 18 of the 105 recipes in Coconut Sambal by Lara Lee. 6 mains, 5 sides, 1 dessert, and 6 dependencies. Most dishes took about an hour, made 4 servings, and our average cost was $7.48 per serving. There were a couple standouts that took some more time, but they were mostly just leaving a dish to braise for a few hours. Reduces gently for 2.5 hours. Easy. Coconut Sambal is Australian-Indonesian chef Lara Lee's first cookbook, published all the way back in 2020. In it, Lara takes us through her journey of self-discovery, from exploring the Indonesian islands and their many cultures and cuisines to training with her mentor, Indonesian food writer Sri Owen. Not to mention recipes passed down by her grandmother, Popo, herself a professional baker from Kupang in West Timor. This book has been on our list for a long time thanks to an Indonesian friend of ours who recommended it profusely. But without any experience cooking Indonesian food, I was always a little bit intimidated to crack it open. However, if there are 2 ingredients that we're always excited to see in a dish, coconut and sambal are right there at the top of the list, so we finally dove in. I don't know why I was intimidated at all. It turns out it's super approachable. Here's our week with coconut and sambal. It's day 1 cooking out of coconut and sambal. We're kicking the week off with some fish, specifically the oven-baked fish with sambal, and we're pairing that with the crispy soy and ginger roasted potatoes. Let's get cooking. It looks like we have to start with our potatoes. Does this have to be right side up or upside down? It doesn't say. It says to sprinkle them with salt, so I'm guessing right side up. Sprinkle generously. Time to boil some potatoes. This one's fun. Potatoes on. This book says an Indonesian dish is not complete if you haven't had rice, at least at some point in the day. And we haven't had rice today, so I think I'm gonna start some rice. We also made the tomato sambal for this, so here's that footage from our prep day. Oh, hi, I didn't see you there. Just kidding, I did see you there. I knew this was on the whole time. We need to make a stir-fried spring onion. No, off, buddy, off. All of this is bad for you. Excuse you. Excuse you. Bless you. What's half of 45? Why am I blanking on this? Can you just be here for moral support when I eventually have to touch this fish?
Lay a large sheet of foil on a baking tray and brush with oil. Thinly slice the remaining 2 limes and arrange the slices across the foil, then lay the fish on top. Bake in the hot oven for 30 to 35 minutes.
Interesting, okay. Getting up close and personal with red snapper. Do we have to descale it?
No, it's already descaled. Covering its eyes.
I can't look at it. Drizzle lightly with oil.
There you go, babe.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
This is really a struggle for you.
Okay, I don't like it.
Sorry. Do you want help with it?
Okay. Can you get me another thing to cover his eye?
Oh my God, Sarah.
Okay. And on the counter.
Yep.
Pat, 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 pat. Stir-fried spring onions. Ugh. Oh, this fish has teeth. I think we start with the fish.
The fish?
The fish. Watch out for bones.
Uh-huh.
That sambal is great. It's so spicy. The tomato comes through beautifully.
Sambal is doing a lot of favors because it's salty, it's acidic, and it's spicy. So you get just a lot of ground covered with one condiment.
The fish is very delicate, spicy. That's kind of all I'm getting though.
You're only getting spicy?
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of the like limey flavor from it. I don't get any of the lemongrass. Yeah, I really just get the sambal. And I'm not upset about it. I really like that. Oh, so many bones.
That's not on her. That's on Fishmonger.
It's great with the rice. I'm very curious to try it with the potatoes, which is a pairing suggestion that she made with it.
That bone pierced my tongue. Ow, that hurt so bad. I want to eat more, but I'm having a bad time with it.
You're worried. Extremely tasty. And honestly, once you have a sambal, really fast to come together.
Okay, so you got onion and ginger, like green onion, ginger, soy sauce and vinegar on crispy potatoes. I'm not getting a ton of garlic coming through, which was in the baking sheet, but I wouldn't say that's like a key component in terms of flavor. The main thing to me is the soy sauce and vinegar combo, which makes these just so much more appealing than if they were just salted.
Yeah, I agree with that. I love the ginger with it. It's lifty and not like,
Right.
yeah. Like imagine potatoes and gravy, heavy. Ugh. But add the ginger in there.
Heavy. Ugh. That's your favorite dish on earth.
It's still so good, but extremely heavy. The ginger, lifty, tasty.
Lifty. The
Lifty,
opposite of
tasty.
heavy.
Yeah.
I think these are truly phenomenal potatoes. Like new default roast potato recipe.
Smash on a sambal, smash on the fish, hard smash on the potatoes.
I think it's because they're so simple, yet such a big improvement over standard roast potatoes for so little effort. Like
Honestly,
the topping,
very easy.
so easy.
Yeah, extremely easy.
Delicious.
So good.
Good work, babe.
Thanks. I think I just swallowed a bone that I had picked and put it to the side.
Now a fish is gonna grow in your stomach.
Yeah. It's day 2 cooking out of coconut and sambal. Today we're making the smashed fried chicken with sambal and pairing that with the turmeric pickle. Let's get started with the pickle. Turmeric time. Got our pickle on the side. Time to move on to the smashed fried chicken with sambal. She says in the book she's offered 2 types of sambal to accompany this dish. If you love spicy food, opt for the hotter Richa chili sauce. But if you're more in the mood for something milder, try the tomato sambal. We had the tomato sambal yesterday. So today we're gonna do the Richa chili. And here is the prep footage of that we did on our prep day. I'm gonna get together this spice mix. Hi, buddy. What's going on? Ow, 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 ow. Get off, get off, get off, get off, get off, get off. There we go. Salt. Get off, buddy. Come on.
It's just buttermilk, egg whites, and vodka is the batter?
Yeah.
Usually a batter has flour in it.
But this makes me nervous. I don't like doing this. Can you do this one?
Sure. 158 there. That'll get us there. I think this needs like a really low temp start, like 275. Like it just gets so dark so fast. Takes a long time. Only that. Hold on, dude. Slow
sorry.
up.
I'm just excited to smash the chicken. Smashed it.
I will never eat a chicken drumstick.
Yeah, I know you won't. Some rice on the side of this.
Immediately, it is saltier than I expected, which is a very good thing. First thing I noticed,
Okay.
much saltier than I had been expecting. I was worried because it didn't say to season it. Once you pull it out, not an issue.
I will say that it was salt brined for 30 minutes before we did anything to it. And there's a good amount of salt in the batter too.
And the richa is
Yes.
well salted.
Honestly, this is really good.
Yeah.
I know we had some difficulty with the actual like method of frying it, but
Like, I think that the instruction of like doing it at one temperature for such big pieces of chicken. I think this is one of those things where just chicken sizes aren't the same globally. Like timings are going to be different because of that. So the temperature has to be different. And like the things that may work in British kitchens or Indonesian kitchens may just not work in American kitchens. That's all fine. This book is clearly written from a very specific viewpoint. And it's also not translated at all for Americans. I don't think everything needs to be. It's just something that we're going to be conscious of when we're reviewing it. Is like, hey, you're going to struggle to get into this if you don't know how to translate. And I think this was just one of those things. The outcome, great. You have to adapt, though.
what is the purpose of putting vodka in the batter? Do you know?
Typically, it's because alcohol evaporates so much faster than water.
So we're gonna get crispies
Yes.
faster.
You'll see that a lot in frying recipes, like tempura sometimes will have alcohol in it. You'll also see soda sometimes as a component for that because then it'll bubble the batter a little bit. You get little air pockets. In this case, the batter is just buttermilk, eggs, and vodka, I think.
Egg whites. Yep.
So that's high protein, but there's no starch component at all. That's going to allow for minimal hydration of the dredge. So I don't know what impact that had. Maybe like the things that we overemphasize in American, like fried chicken, aren't actually necessary.
Maybe.
Like that's interesting.
Maybe.
This is very crisp. It's very thin.
Like if
It does-
KFC
The problem,
is like construction paper, this is like tissue paper.
the problem with that is because it's so thin, once it rehydrates, it's just completely floppy.
Right.
So the earlier pieces are not crispy at all anymore.
That's probably why in the book they say try to eat it like right out of the fryer. All right, I gotta try this with the pickles. It is very vibrant though.
This doesn't taste like turmeric at all, though. It tastes like coriander.
Okay, I really get the cinnamon in this.
Yeah, this is nice.
There's cumin and there's coriander in here.
I get the coriander about 10 times more than the cumin. I'd never heard the term mange tout for peas before.
That's how you pronounce it?
I believe it means eat 'em all in French. Mange is eat, and tout, I think, is at all.
Did not pronounce it that way. Mange tout?
Mange tout. I actually think I like the pickles as an accompaniment more than I like the sambal.
Or maybe try it with the tomato sambal because she gave you the option. And you might just like the tomato sambal more. I
do
like the
toma-
richa.
The tomato sambal is way hotter, too.
Which is so interesting too because you said that this was going to be hotter than the tomato.
We did switch chilies in between. I used Fresno's for the long red chilies. I'm not sure if that's the right idea, so maybe that's a component.
Yeah. I don't know if I love the pickles. They're okay, but maybe they're better if they're cold.
I think I like them with the chicken, like especially with the skin.
That like cinnamon with the vinegar is giving it kind of like an apple.
What's the vinegar in it? Is it apple
Rice.
cider vinegar? Rice vinegar.
Yeah, it's giving it a little bit of like a apple flavor. Not bad,
Applesauce.
just different.
Yeah.
So light smash on this. I want to say light smash on the richa, but I think it's because it's so salty. I like how salty it is. Smash on the smashed chicken.
Actually, I might go grab that other piece and throw some of that tomato sambal on it. Isn't that crisp? Dang.
Dang,
Dang, Sarah.
nasty.
Dang. Dang, you nasty. Way better. Just dumped it. The tomato sambal is far superior in my opinion.
That's so good.
That combo I think is a hard smash for me.
It's day 3 cooking out of coconut and sambal. Today we're making the green chili braised duck with the turmeric yellow rice and the pandan green chili sambal. We made the sambal during our prep day, so here's that footage. Remove the pith and seeds from the green chilies. Whew. This tattoo it's been a rough week. Ooh, that's dirty. There you go. I think that's a semi-coarse paste. Time to cook some duck. I'm not going to heat the pan. just gonna add the spice paste. Juices in there. Yep, that still has like an hour left on it, but I'm gonna get the turmeric rice, not started, but I'm gonna get it like prepped up so that it's ready to just like cook whenever we are. Rice is all prepped up. Now we just have to wait for the duck. So easy. Ah! Can you get off? Fry, get off. Time to look at this rice. Ah! I knew better. Ooh, okay.
Why is the lemongrass just chilling on the side of the plate?
I thought
for
it would
aesthetic?
look good, but I don't think it does look very good.
Just a little garbage in there. It's cool.
Yeah.
The chili's nice though. I just got a little bit like fish food energy. This is what I'm excited about.
I love that I don't need a knife. I can just twist it.
Slightly undercooked. Yeah, it's a little bit tougher than I would usually expect
Oh
for
my
a
God.
duck leg.
Really?
Yeah. Like it should fall off the bone a little bit more easily. Like you shouldn't have to twist. The sauce is great. Yeah, solid. I think the tomato sambal is still my favorite. I will say that.
Yeah.
I'm mostly getting salt and chili from this, which is totally fine. But I would like some more acid component because we're getting chili and salt from the other stuff too.
Right.
The duck leg is a duck leg. It tastes like duck leg. The inside doesn't really taste like anything more than that. But the outside, the sauce is awesome.
They just call this the spice paste.
Okay.
It's a bunch of chilies, which is probably what you like about it. We had serranos for our green chilies.
Macroot
it's
lime.
A lot of that. Yep, macroot lime we've
My
got in
favorite
here.
flavor on the face of the earth. I have them tattooed on my arm.
We have lemongrass in here, shallot, and garlic. I think that's it.
It's mostly like a bitter spicy combo. Like it's just that very vegetable flavor. The one thing I think I'm missing here is acid.
You know what?
There's more lime juice over there. I put the lime juice on there.
Put all the lime
Yeah.
juice on there? Maybe we need more lime juice.
Yeah.
The rice itself doesn't have a ton of flavor to it. I want it to have more salt for sure.
I mean, I'm gonna eat all this duck. This is really good. But the thing it needed was definitely more acid.
Acid.
Little low on salt on the inside of the duck as well as with the rice. Obviously the sambal does bring some salt, but it also carries a lot of fishiness with it. So
Yeah.
for me, I kind of have to eat it in moderation. It's not bad, but it's a strong flavor.
Right. I'm really sensitive to fishy flavors, so it's not my favorite sambal, but if you like fish cakes, I would say,
Yeah, like Japanese
if
fish
you
cakes,
like
kamaboko.
Japanese fish cakes, then you'll probably really, really like it.
I actually want to try this with that tomato sambal, which is my favorite.
Okay. I do want this other duck leg. I'm doing it.
Go off, queen.
Don't tell me what to do. All right, try it first, and then let me know what you think of it before I commit.
I'm actually not going to tell you. You have to look at my face and tell me what you think I think.
Okay. I think you like it.
Rating.
Smash on the duck, light smash on the rice. There's not a lot of flavor. Pretty, not a lot of flavor. I'm gonna say pass on the sambal, but it's personal. It's not anything to do with
It's
the
a light
recipe.
pass for me. The concept is interesting and like it's distinct from the rest of them that we've tried. It's just not a flavor that like does super well for me. Duck is smash. Rice light smash, yeah.
Yeah. I think so. Day 4, cooking out of coconut and sambal. Today we are making the spicy baked aubergine with the coconut rice, and fried shallots. Well, I'm gonna get started with the fried shallots first. Let's get cooking. Shallots. Let's toss a few of these bad boys in just to see what we're looking at. Shallots are done. Can you see them? Some of them got a little dark. I think it's gonna be okay though. They're crunchy. Salty. I'll prep up the stuff for the coconut rice. Pinch of castor sugar. These things just suck up moisture. Tomato sambal for this one. I don't think I mentioned that earlier, but there we go. Soft boil. I have to move these onto an oiled baking tray. This on? Okay. Let's do 15 more minutes. Be smarter this time. Lift the rice up away from you. This whole thing is not gonna fit on my plate, so I'm taking,
That's what she said.
I'm taking half.
Hey.
I'm taking the dog. Okay, here we go. We have fried shallots. We've got tomato sambal. We've got eggplant, coconut rice. Are you ready?
Yeah. It's got my favorite sambal on it. They don't call it sambal.
You're like, I need it. I need this. Whew! That tomato sambal it's got some kick.
Yeah. Sweet, salty, spicy.
Really? I'm getting spicy at the top, and then sweet, and then salty.
All right, discount my experience, sure. I'm just kidding.
Let's unpack that. I do think that it would have been beneficial to like lightly
Peel it.
peel
So you had
the eggplant.
ridges.
Yeah, because it does get a little bit like,
It's stuck in my teeth.
yeah, it gets like chewy,
The skin.
the skin of the eggplant.
It gets kind of leathery.
Leathery is the word.
Coconut rice is very subtle. Somewhat sweeter. I get it more on the back end. Is it jasmine rice? So I get the jasmine and then the coconut after.
She gives you the option in this book of using either jasmine or basmati. I use jasmine. Honestly, so easy.
It's giving like open-faced sandwich vibes.
A little tartine.
Aubergine tartine.
Aubergine tartine. I do want the coconut rice to be more coconutty. I do think that there's plenty of salt
There's so much salt in there. Yeah.
in the spicy aubergine that it's like, it's you don't need the extra salt.
The shallots are aggressively salty, and the sambal is pretty salty too.
If you're just having the rice by itself, little bland. Smash on the eggplant.
Yeah.
Light smash on the coconut rice. You can't be mad at it. It's
Yeah.
just I want more flavor.
This is coconut in the way that LaCroix is flavorful.
Day 5, cooking out of coconut and sambal. Today we're making Barack Obama's favorite Indonesian meal, which is the spiced meatball soup. We're also going to make the peanut and kaffir lime kerupuk. We made the ground chili sambal ulek for the meatball soup, and we're gonna play that right now. Fix one, toss one. Fix one, toss one. I gotta get going on this broth. I'm gonna try to do this real fast. Whew. Whew. Look at this chicken stock. Oh. I'm gonna start going on the meatballs. More shallots. Not as bad. I think my nose just is creating a callus to shallots. Hi. Did you miss me? That is definitely a fine paste. Cool. We've got our stock going. We've got our meatballs set. Now we're gonna move on to the Cookbook. Hey, hey, ho, get down. This is runny. We'll try it. It's still hot.
That makes me think that macroot lime would be really good in a peanut butter cookie. I think I want to put noodles on the bottom first. Soup is ready to go when you are.
Nice, okay. Cut to glam. Here
Thanks
we
for
go.
doing this all. Sorry I wasn't able to help.
You helped a lot, Bryn.
Sorry I wasn't able to
You
help.
like helped me wrap up the whole like.
You gave me too much credit. People are gonna be mad online.
Okay. You're right. Fuck you, Bryn.
There we go. That's the attitude I'm looking for.
I'm so excited to try this soup.
Same.
Barack Obama's favorite soup. Here.
That's not what its name is.
Might as well be.
Is it Bakso? Bakso?
Bakso.
It's good by itself, but
Needs salt.
it needs salt. It needs. Okay, we're gonna
Okay.
dump a little bit of that in. This is the.
It's so shalloty.
Yes. It's so shallow.
And then you're supposed to put these on it, or just
They're
have them
just
with
on
it?
the side. They're supposed to be kind of like an appetizer, which we were snacking on them
They're so
while
good.
we were cooking. So amazing.
They're just fried rice crackers with macroot lime, which is like my favorite flavor in the world, and peanuts,
Yeah.
which is like my second favorite flavor in the world.
Yeah.
Oh wow! With the sambal and the vinegar and like the ketchup mayonnaise, it's so good. It really adds a lot of depth. This is definitely a mild sambal.
The meatballs are nice and tender.
Do you think they could use some seasoning inside them?
Oh, there could be more salt. They are a little bland.
Yeah. I think the flavor's okay. They just need salt.
Did you get any chunks of meat in here?
What do you mean?
Oh, there should be some like meat hunks.
I was unaware there was meat in that pot.
Oh yeah. There's brisket in there.
Oh.
Good soup. I do think it could be a little bit saltier.
Yeah.
Just in general.
I
Like
think-
the whole thing I think could be a little bit saltier. But
Which we could just season more.
Right.
Like that's not the end of the world. I think that's the only thing I would really change. Everything else is like top tier. I love this. This is so good. And like with the crackers, holy shit.
the crackers are amazing.
So, okay, so flavors, like a lot of sweetness from the shallots, and then like a richness. We're getting mostly sweetness from the sambal as well, I think, with a little bit of vinegar. Sweet, but not like sugary sweet. And then it's like savory and then like acidity below that. And I think that helps round it out quite well. There's a little bit of vegetalness from like the bok choy. Actually, the meatballs are quite sweet as well. But I'm perfectly happy with this.
Yeah,
I
me
think
too.
this is great.
Oh no!
He bit the lighting cable.
Bri, you electrocuted yourself. Do we have to go outside? Here, let's go outside, bud. That was a little scary.
You're
He's
not
like,
gonna chew on-
I'm gonna go lay down now. I'm done.
That was a spicy noodle.
I'm done. I'm done fucking around with this nonsense.
He fucked around and found out in short order. But you're so scared now. He's fine.
So we probably won't be coming back here for a while.
We're moving to battery powered though. Keep it out of his reach.
It's just so good though. Like, I feel bad for the boy, but
Good for the soup.
this is so good. I think I would add more salt to these. More salt to the meatballs.
It's just a salinity thing. But other than that, it's amazing.
Hard smash on the karpuk. Hard smash on the soup. Smash on the sambal. Like,
Just get a little more salt in there. Amazing.
oh, buddy. It's day 6 cooking out of coconut and sambal. Today we are making the beef rendang with the pandan green chili sambal, which we've already had the day before, so don't have to make that again. It suggests making it with the turmeric yellow rice, but we made that a couple days before also. It was okay.
The rice itself doesn't have a ton of flavor to it.
So we're just gonna do white rice with this one. We're also going to make the coconut and lime ice cream. We tried making the coconut and lime ice cream on our prep day. We weren't huge fans of it, so we tried it again in our ice cream maker. I think this is gonna turn out a lot better, but we'll play that footage so you can see what that prep was like. Let's get cooking. This looks weird. Tastes fine though, so let's work with it. Spice paste. I'm just gonna roughly slice these into. Ooh, my eyes are sore. It's turmeric time. Pretty pasty. Got a little bit oxidized. We've got our meat. Now it just reduces gently for 2.5 hours. Easy. It's been 2.5 hours on this. I'm gonna pull the lemongrass because the instructions say that it will disintegrate if you don't pull the lemongrass out after 2.5 hours. Stir continuously until the sauce has thickened and turned a deep brown. I'm really glad I chose a very tall pot for this because once you get down to like the bottom of it, it splatters a lot. Bri, do you want to say hi to the people? Can you sit? Oh, good. Sit, buddy. This is an arm workout.
We're now a battery-based household. So Fry can't eat the spicy noodles.
Yeah. This
Dessert
is
for breakfast.
This is round 2 ice cream.
This is the one that I did.
Yeah.
So the problem with the original was just the density and that caused separation, and it was like just very, very firm. So my thinking was, if we aerate it the entire time it's freezing with like an ice cream machine, which is not the intended method,
No.
that solves that problem.
Right.
So you've got much cleaner distribution here.
It's very fluffy.
I will
texture.
say, I had some last night. I already know what this tastes like.
Good. There is kind of like a fatty mouthfeel
It greases your lips.
around your lips.
So I did some math on that.
Oh, what's the math?
So okay, so the reason it's so fatty is because it's whipping cream, condensed milk, which actually is the lowest fat content item on the list at 15%. Cream, whipping cream,
Yep.
is 40% fat.
Yep.
And coconut milk was something higher than that, if I recall correctly, which is like
coconut
crazy.
milk is very fatty. So good though.
So since you don't have an emulsifier, you're really just dealing with fat and sugar, and you're basically getting sweet butter.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it feels like.
The first time I made it without the churning method, it felt like butter in your mouth. Like it was just like very dense, very clumpy, kind of like broke off in chunks like butter would.
It's a little flaky.
Yeah.
I think the
So that's
flavor
why
is
we-
great. I will say that.
Right. So that's why we tried doing
the whipping method, thinking like, oh, maybe it just needs to be aerated more. And it's kind of the same thing, but like whipped.
I have had a lot of Indonesian ice cream. Actually, my favorite ice cream place in LA is Indonesian. And they're coconut based. It's a lot more loose texture, like it's a fluffy. And so I think that there's room for
Fluffiness.
like elaborating on this idea because the flavor is extremely good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's nice.
It's just highly
the
dense.
toasted coconut is really lovely. You get a tiny hint of lime, but not overwhelming. It's mostly coconut. It's mostly coconut.
You're supposed to put lime zest on it when you serve it.
Ah.
That's like the recommendation. I don't think it's necessary because it is quite limey. Fatty, sugary, and dense. No matter what you do with it,
Yeah.
it's still quite dense. I think it needs more water content and an emulsifier for it to feel like a real ice cream.
Yeah. It's rendang time.
Should we look up how to pronounce rendang? Is it rendang?
Rendang.
I think it could use a little more salt, but it's got a good amount of heat.
It's a very confident move to only serve a spoon with beef.
I know, I should have not done this.
It worked.
The base flavor, caramely. Salty, caramely. That's what I'm getting.
I mostly get like coconut. How are you feeling with the sambal?
I'm very particular about like fishy flavors, and I actually don't mind it with this.
I think it works really well.
I think it works really, really well. It's nice and salty. It balances out kind of like the coconut. What do you think? What are you tasting?
I like I want to say like vegetal flavor of the green. Like it tastes green. The green sambal does. And so it gives me some counterpoint for sure. I think that's probably in line with what you're experiencing. The fishiness actually, it's not contrasting, it's complementary.
Yeah.
I still think my favorite sambal is the tomato one, and that's the one I'm kind of like yearning for here because it's like intensely acidic and spicy.
Yeah, this sambal is definitely not one that I want to like take a big dollop of and like throw it on, but
Yeah, I want to throw that tomato sambal at every dish that comes across my path.
but this is like in small amounts. I think it pulls out more of the cumin, the coriander, a little bit of the red chili. These aren't very spicy red chilies, so it's very muted.
There's not an ounce of spice in them, except it has the shishito thing where every once in a while you get one that's
Yeah.
like so hot. Big hit of lemongrass in that last one. Love that when that comes through. It's rich. It has like some complexity to it from all of those. Like I get the galangal, I get the ginger, I get the garlic. Like if I think through the list, I can clearly find them. Otherwise, they just kind of all like go together, right? Like it's not a distinct thing unless you really look for it.
Yeah. Do you get shallot? Because there are definitely shallots in here.
That's probably where a lot of the sweetness comes from.
Yeah.
Because it's so thick and like reduced, it's like almost molassesy. It's like you're eating a delicious swamp. All the leaves in there and shit. It's full of like vegetation flavors. You know what I mean? I said delicious.
You're like Shrek over
it's
here.
it's a little bit fishy.
Get out of my swamp.
Was that your Shrek impression?
That's my Shrek.
Yeah, my swamp. And in the morning, I'm making waffles. That's a nice bowl there.
I will definitely be eating this as leftovers if there's any left over tomorrow.
Speaking of, do you want to talk ratings?
Light pass on the ice
Really?
cream. Yeah. I don't think I can eat a lot of it. I think it's the texture thing that's like a little too much for
Full
me.
on smash for me.
It's a smash.
Yeah, I think it can be improved texturally. To me, it's like so close to being like incredible. It's just one off from there. And I do think that a lot of that was in order to make it easier for people. So I think
Yes.
there's also value in that.
Correct. I'm going hard smash on the rendang. I think that's so good, especially with the sambal combination. I'm excited to try it with the tomato sambal because I think that's going to be even better.
Just a smash for me,
Okay.
but it's good.
Should we try it with the tomato? The tomato sambal is so good.
I think the important thing is to realize it doesn't actually taste like tomato. It's just acidic and spicy.
And super salty. Yum.
This is deeply satisfying.
After 6 days with coconut and sambal, we've got some thoughts. As always, let's start with accessibility. The most important detail to understand about this book for our largely American audience is that this book isn't really designed to cater to an American kitchen. All of the oven temperatures are written using gas marks and Celsius.
So yeah, the old ranges had like gas marks on them. And so you had gas mark 1, gas mark 2, gas mark 7. 220 is like regular like oven temp. And then 200 fan is in convection. Fan means convection.
Oh. I also had to do some translating of ingredients and quantities from British English to American equivalents. She doesn't say specifically, but she says Chinese influenced dishes. So I'm guessing she means AP flour. What does dessert spoon mean? With that said, we still felt that the recipes themselves were extremely beginner friendly, and Lara even covers the role each type of dish plays on an Indonesian table to help newcomers understand how to structure a traditional meal. An Indonesian dish is not complete if you haven't had rice, at least at some point in the day. And we haven't had rice today, so I think I'm gonna start some rice. One of my favorite details is the meal planning section in the back, where she gives tips on meal structure and occasion-based ideas. She even offers a collection of all the dishes that follow common dietary considerations, going out of her way to list all of the vegetarian, vegan, gluten-free, and dairy-free recipes in the book. The hardest ingredients for us to find were specific chilies for some of the sambals, and recruit lime leaf can be hard to find in some places. But Lara goes out of her way to offer alternatives like using bay leaves or curry leaves in a pinch. Though curry leaves may be even harder to find in a lot of the US, and those subs will have very different flavors. To reduce that effort, Lara built in an exhaustive guide to Indonesian pantry essentials that doesn't just include definitions and translations, but also substitutions, buying guides, and storage tips. I also want to call out that even though she provides guidance on how to do everything the old school way in a mortar and pestle, she actually recommends using a food processor for all of her recipes. It's just another thoughtful detail that makes this book more approachable to newcomers. And honestly, if you give me the option to save my arms, I'll take it every time. Accessibility gets a 9. The recipes are organized pretty traditionally in 9 sections, and as mentioned, there are some detailed guides in the back to help you figure out how to put it all together. The recipe layout is clean and compact, if a little bit dense typographically, which can make it easy to lose your spot. There are some cool customizations to include details like the island of origin for specific dishes, the heat level, and a suggested sambal pairing, though we did miss that guidance once or twice.
Or maybe try it with the tomato sambal, because she gave you the option, and you might just like the tomato sambal more.
The photos are simple and pretty, but thankfully they stick to the realistic end of the spectrum, which is so helpful when you're trying to understand a new dish. I wouldn't call this brown yet, especially compared to the photo. The photos have been pretty true to form. Not a lot of embellishments, not a lot of touch-ups. Design gets a 7. This is a book that really asks you to trust the process, and I can happily say that if you do, you will be rewarded.
Honestly, this is really good.
I mean, I'm gonna eat all this duck. This is really good. I was skeptical of the battering method, but it worked.
These dishes are complex in flavor, but simple in effort, and dishes we're not usually excited about in a lot of cuisines were amazing through this bright, intensely flavored lens.
If you're doing a low and slow beef, having it be the base and everything else be the flavor is the move.
There were still a couple recipes that had details we weren't wild about, but Lara offers so many ways to customize them that it's almost impossible not to come out of this book understanding how to tune a dish to your liking.
Maybe we need more lime juice. Oh, there could be more salt.
The tomato sambal is far superior in my opinion.
The one ingredient you won't be able to avoid, as with many Southeast Asian cuisines, is the humble shallot. So if you're not an onion fan, sorry.
Very shallot heavy book.
But for us, flavor is going to get a 10. Besides a couple of tricky translations from the King's English, the recipes were easy to parse and very straightforward, and we only ran into one publishing error during our week.
Okay, there is no instruction on what to do with the seeds that I toasted for this, so if I had to guess, I would say that they go in at the very end. So that's what I'm gonna do.
The prose in the intro of the book and between sections can be a little bit stiff though, and she includes a lot of individual people's names that are never referred to again, which can make it kind of hard to keep track of what she wants you to get out of a story. It seems like she's trying to give credit to the people who taught her, which is great, but the many names mentioned briefly in succession can make it hard to follow the overarching story. In general, it's a simple, concise book, and so writing is getting a straight down the middle 5. Of the 18 recipes we made this week, we got 12 smashes. We usually say that a book is worth the price of admission if we can get a 50% smash rate of the recipes that we made as they're written. And Coconut and Sambal absolutely did that thing, but there's way more to it than that. Not only was this hands down one of the easiest books I've cooked out of in a long time.
So easy.
So easy, easy.
So once you have a sambal, really fast to come together.
But it also taught us new techniques and dishes and flavor pairings, and we immediately got inspired to mash these up with our own recipes and ideas.
That makes me think that macroot lime would be really good in a peanut butter cookie.
I am genuinely excited to try that smashed fried chicken again, and I keep finding myself reaching for that leftover tomato sambal to toss in eggs, rice, and even posam. And that rempeyek that we were so obsessed with.
These crackers going in the back pocket for sure.
They're going in the front pocket. They're getting used tomorrow.
We've already made it again for friends, and we even made a rempeyek inspired twist of an old peanut butter cookie recipe to make something new and fragrant and fun. Lara writes that she hopes this book will inspire your home cooking, and boy howdy has she succeeded. Value gets a 10. That brings my initial score for Coconut and Sambal to 8.2 out of 10. If you are interested in getting started cooking Indonesian food and you're willing to do a little translation from the King's English,
Book copy's hard.
then I think Coconut and Sambal would be a great addition to your shelf. This is the stuff we made. This is the extra stuff that we want to try.